Hello Internet, this is Johnny Ostrom. Just wanted to do a quick video to check in with everybody that's subscribed to me and asked for me to make more videos and explain some stuff for which I have not. I wanted to check in and talk about the things I'd like to make videos about and share kind of a realization I had, which is that I don't think I have the time and the energy to put together a fully well-edited video. I would love to talk about LSystems with people and Touchdesigner and all sorts of other things I'm interested in, but I've been planning to make an LSystem video for a month and I haven't done it yet. So what I think I'm going to do instead is do a stream. I think I'll do a stream instead. So I live in Vancouver, British Columbia, and I am, what was I saying? I'm in the PST time zone. So if you're out there and you want to participate in a Touchdesigner LSystems live stream, let me know where you are and what time would work for you, and I'll try to accommodate you. And if I don't get any responses by the time that happens, which is likely, I will just make a video. I'll just stream, and then hopefully it will be good. In that, I would love to cover... Oh, look, it's me frozen. I would love to cover all the stuff. Let's just turn that off. A lot of the stuff I was doing here in this video. So I would love to cover the total logic, all the different operators, what this window is, because this is actually a little custom container I made that automatically grows the plants and automatically resets the growth when it hits a low frame rate and all that. Thank you to everyone who's responded, by the way. And hopefully it's not going to be a video tutorial. It'll be a stream tutorial, which of course is a video anyway. So reach out and I will do a stream soon. Okay, so in addition to that, I would love to talk about some other things that I've been interested in recently as well, and just see if anyone else out there is interested in this stuff. So the first one that I've been really obsessed with in the last week or so, or 2 weeks, is this surface called Mozilla Hubs, which allows you to create a virtual environment that works in any web browser, can work with VR headsets, works on phones, and basically allows you to make a virtual space which you can place objects into. You can take photos, you can bust out a camera. That's my avatar right there. Make a camera, you can upload 3D models directly. You can even do stuff like I can take an image from my desktop and just drag it in and create an image in the space. You can pin them. You can invite people into your room, and you can have up to 40 people in space speaking to each other, sharing screens, everything. It's this like crazy ultimate collaboration space. And so if you're out there and you'd like to learn about this, please let me know in the comments. I will probably end up doing videos anyway. And I want to talk about my aspirations here. I want to make open art shows where people can submit their artwork. I want to speak to people and have presentations and workshops in this space. And I want to build a network of people who would be interested in using this kind of technology. And again, it doesn't cost anything. It's free. They're all virtual, and all the assets I use for this scene, they're all made with Blender. I recently switched to Blender because it's open source and I don't have to pay for it, and no one should have to pay for it. So yeah, that's one thing I'd like to talk about. Another thing I'd love to talk about is internet privacy and just like alternatives to existing social media platforms and existing networks. I think that right now, especially freedom of speech, freedom of information, it's all important. We're stuck on these like Facebook and Google platforms, but we have the technology to decentralize and to move away from them and to be private, and to avoid being manipulated by massive companies. And that's one thing that I'm getting more interested in. One good example of that is this online internet platform called Blockstack, which basically uses blockchain to encrypt your identity and give you like a user, which you then can use to connect to other apps without using a password. So it's kind of like you can't, there's no password because there's only one you, and only one you can enter and use websites. Someone else couldn't log in from a different location, for example. They would have to be you. That's not a very good explanation, but there's all sorts of interesting open source and alternative applications that are made for this platform, things that allow you to decentralize things like your documents, your photo storage, your Patreon, all this stuff. I'm really interested in how this stuff could potentially be used for like democratic process and for creating networks of people that are off the grid, away from corporate manipulation and all of that. Some other stuff I'd love to talk about. Let's see. There doesn't seem like there's a lot of interest in this clock thing. Would love to talk about this, my AR experiments with Touchdesigner. This is using Vive tracking to superimpose 3D geometry over a live 180-degree webcam feed, which I think is really interesting. It's like AR, but it's not tracking. It doesn't use camera tracking. It uses spatial tracking with a VR headset. And it allows you to do AR that has the same graphical power as a PC computer, which I think is an interesting and kind of unexplored area, especially for people who are more in independent production. I think it's something that you see very commonly in studios, and you know, everyone knows that The Mandalorian was made with Unreal Engine. So this stuff is getting more common, but there's not a lot of like DIY applications for it. So this is what that project is about. I'd also love to talk about a little project I did recently, which this is private, but where I was basically doing Omegle spoofing, and I was kind of engaging with strangers on the internet through this strange avatar. So basically I created a 3D scene, and people would, and I'd go onto Omegle, and people would see their face. I hope that this is not going to be a naked individual. And let me just, a little bit worried. Let me just scoot ahead. Here we go. I'll scoot this guy. There. So people would match with me or whatever, and then they'd see themselves on the screen, and then they'd see a virtual representation of a room. Their screen is duplicated, and then they would see this body tracking of me. And it was so interesting. People really stopped what they were doing and engaged with me and were freaked out and didn't know what was going on. And there's a real interesting subversive element to this that I would love to talk about more and see if anyone else is interested in exploring. I could definitely imagine this being applied in some sort of like art or viral communications campaign or something. I'm not sure. Okay, so and then the last thing is I took that idea of Omegle spoofing and I took it one step further and started using PoseNet, which is a facial and skeletal tracking software to track the faces of the people who I was matching with. And what that meant is that whoever I was matching with would, again, I want to make sure there's nothing inappropriate here. There we go. What it basically means is that you turn someone's face into a controller. So all this information can be, it's not tracking super well right now, but all this information can be turned into parameters that could be controlled in Touchdesigner. And so to me, I really want to make like a video game in which, or like some sort of experience in which someone matches with me on Omegle, and then all of a sudden they have control of a character through the screen, and they can move through a virtual space and kind of like get deeper into this unexpected found experience. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, I've got lots of other projects. A lot of it right now centers around this, and I also have commercial projects on the side. But those are all the things I'm thinking about right now, and those are the things I'm hoping that you are also interested in exploring with me. And I would love it if you let me know if you're out there, if anyone is actually out there still waiting for these videos. Let me know so I'm inspired to stream sooner, and join me for the streams if you can. Yeah, hope you are all well. Also, I want to say Black Lives Matter. This moment matters. This is the moment for us all to speak up and use our voices to resist oppression. There is a anti-Black racist institution that exists within and around America and the world. And if we take that bubble and we expand one layer out, there are multiple systems of oppression that are all interacting, and they're holding all of us down and preventing us from being free. And you can think about internet privacy, as I talked about earlier. You could talk about capitalism. I'm not the expert. I'm the white guy who has not ever raised his voice before, but recently I've started raising my voice and speaking about it. And just as of right now, all I'm doing is reading, signing petitions, donating, and encouraging other people, especially white people, especially men, to speak out if they're not. So here I am encouraging you to speak out. And if you want company kind of thinking through this stuff and talking about this stuff, then also reach out to me, because I would love to have a team of people who who believe that change is possible and who want to do whatever they can to make change happen. Okay, I think that pretty much covers it. I hope to stream soon. Hope to hear from you.